The summer solstice, our longest day of the year, has been celebrated by people and cultures throughout the ages. Also called midsummer, the solstice has inspired festivals and events surrounding life and fertility. For this midsummer reverie, we will explore the works and musings of poets and composers within the Western classical tradition as inspired by light and energy associated with summer and the solstice. In the Northern Hemisphere, the summer solstice marks the point at which the sun reaches the highest point in the sky, producing the longest day of the year. We know this day as the start of summer, though the changing of seasons is different depending on which calendar is used. Meteorologically, seasons are divided evenly into quarters to best reflect the weather cycles associated with their corresponding season. The summer solstice, or recognized official day of summer, is based on an astronomical occurrence, with the sun being at the northernmost subsolar point, the Tropic of Cancer. This is how the solstice got its name, derived from the Latin sol for sun, and stadium for stay still. In short, the meteorological start of summer in the Northern Hemisphere is June 1st, as weather patterns are most reflective of summer between this date and August 31st. Astronomically speaking, the official start of summer falls on the June solstice, which this year is June 20th. It is commonly referred to midsummer, simply in that the date marks the traditional agricultural halfway point between planting and harvesting. The light and energy surrounding the longest day of the year has inspired ancient traditions surrounding life, rebirth, and fertility. The Vikings used this day to annually discuss and resolve matters of legal importance, ranging from small to large. The Romans celebrated Vesta, the virgin goddess of hearth, home, and family, through festivals and the entry allowance of married women into the sacred temple of the Vestal Virgins to make offerings. The Aztecs and Mayans invested much of their daily lives around solstices and equinoxes, building structures and cities with consideration to the sun's directional path during these astronomical events. There is some carryover of these cultural traditions in modern times, such as in Sweden, where the historical practice of eating the first strawberry harvest at midsummer festivals continues in part through strawberries and whipped cream being served at local solstice celebrations. Regardless of tradition, cultures and societies have and continue to recognize the solstice as an event worthy of acknowledgement. The music in this feature comes from A Midsummer Night's Dream by Felix Mendelssohn. The fourth movement, which was composed nearly 2 decades after the overture, is the famous wedding march often used as a recessional to close wedding ceremonies. In this large work of incidental music, Mendelssohn seeks to capture the varying events and emotions surrounding lovers and lovers' quarrels in William Shakespeare's play A Midsummer Night's Dream, a work that expounds upon life and fertility associated with the season. One of the more popular pieces of program music is Vivaldi's Summer from his larger collection, The Four Seasons. Several composers have written collections of similar structure, though none have achieved the success and popularity as Vivaldi in these 4 concerti. Vivaldi crafted each of these with specific directions, narratives, and soundscaping to capture the physical qualities of each season. In Summer, he wrote emotive instructions for the orchestral players. For example, the first movement opens with "Exhausted by the heat," that swiftly transitions to summer bird calls of the cuckoo, then the turtle dove and the goldfinch. Gentle breezes ensue, followed by the north wind, which draws the tears of the village boy in fear of impending thunderstorms. The remaining two movements start with distant lightning, then close dramatically with the sometimes volatile weather of summer. Circling back to poetry and the more radiant facade of summertime, the following poem of Walt Whitman invokes the hope and illuminating quality that the sun can bring. A Summer Invocation. Thou orb aloft full dazzling, flooding with sheeny light the grey beach sand, thou sibilant near sea with vistas far and foam, and tawny streaks and shades and spreading blue. Before I sing the rest, O sun refulgent, my special word to thee. Hear me, illustrious, thy lover me, for always I have loved thee, even as basking babe, then happy boy alone by some wood edge, thy touching distant beams enough, or man matured, or young or old, as now to thee I launch my invocation. Thou canst not with thy dumbness me deceive. I know before the fitting man all nature yields. Though answering not in words, the skies, trees, hear his voice, and thou, O sun, as for thy throes, thy perturbations, sudden breaks and shafts of flame gigantic, I understand them. I know those flames, those perturbations well. Thou that with fructifying heat and light, o'er myriad forms, o'er lands and waters, north and south, o'er Mississippi's endless course, o'er Texas' grassy plains, Canada's woods, o'er all the globe that turns its face to thee, shining in space, thou that impartially enfoldest all, not only continents, seas, thou that to grapes and weeds and little wild flowers givest so liberally, shed thyself on mine and me, mellow these lines. Fuse thyself here with but a fleeting ray out of thy million millions. Strike through this chant. Nor only launch thy subtle dazzle and thy strength for this. Prepare the later afternoon of me myself. Prepare my lengthening shadows. Prepare my starry nights. Many of the messages surrounding the solstice are around illumination and rebirth, an opportunity to consider the past and reforge anew. As seen in music and poetry, the qualities associated with summertime can inspire program music, expressing the known qualities of the physical world through unexpected or unconventional mediums, as heard in Vivaldi's Summer Concerto from the Four Seasons. These summertime qualities can extend beyond the physical and into the narrative world, as in Walt Whitman's A Summer Invocation, where the sun goes beyond providing mere light, but as a present and guiding illumination of life. With such events, are you drawn to the iconic or the scientific, the spiritual or the physical? What significance does the summer solstice hold for you?